Hello, my friends. I'm going to do a week reading, sort of set my week up. I'm watching my cat, Marvin, who is a long-haired orange kitty, and he is obsessed with my closet, and his tail's going, and I don't know if he sees shadows or if he sees spirits, so I've just asked, for, cleansing space and listen to a little bit of cleansing music to clear the space and welcome to all good spirits and all negative energy to leave because it's not allowed here. I'm gonna quick burn a little bit of sage, and I don't know what's going on with this cat, but I'll be right back. So for some people call this smudging, although some people will say that that's a appropriation of the name smudging, which is what the indigenous Americans used. But you take a stick of some kind. You can use wood. You can use this is white sage. You can use whatever you have, and really it's just intention. So I'm just intending to clear my space. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just clearing my space. Smells so good too. Just clearing the space. Letting go of all the negative energy in here. Just good energy. I want to be able to read with good energy. So, put over in the room over there. The cat's very interested in it. They say that, cats can see. Now he's following it because he thinks I'm playing with him. They say that, animals can see the spirit world. So we'll set that off to the side. I feel better just having cleansed the space. It feels just better. All right. I always, think to spirit, like, which cards do you want me to use? What do you want me to use my stones? I use my stones every day. And I use Celtic Spirit almost every day. And those are the cards I'm always really drawn to. So, sometimes, Spirit will say, use this and that. But today I'm just getting the feeling for Celtic Spirit. If you wanted to see the book, that is the book. There are knockoffs of all the cards, which I learned the hard way on Temu. All right, so we're doing a Celtic cross spread, and this is for this coming week. Anything to keep in mind, anything for me to focus on, focus my energy on, and hopefully this will resonate for you. This is a general reading for you. It's a specific reading to me. So take what resonates and let go of the rest. Remember that this doesn't replace prayer or any kind of system that you have that's religious. It is just a tool in your toolkit. All right. Right now we're pulling the center card in the Celtic cross. There's different Celtic crosses. I do one in the center and then 4 around, but other people have other Celtic crosses with another card in it. We're pulling our present energy, where Spirit says we are right now. There we go. Okay, so right now we are in the space of divination. And it says, guides, Ogham, and tree spirits. And how funny, yesterday I was teaching Ogham. Ogham is an ancient writing style, the ancient Irish writing style. And we did this showcase at this high school, and I was teaching, people how to write their names in Ogham. I also have Ogham staves here, and actually I have the book came out. It's funny. It's funny how scary it is. The book had come out, and I have to put it back in with the wooden things, but this is what Ogham looks like. You can also read Ogham in divination too. I don't. To me, it's an alphabet. But interesting. Maybe at the end we'll pull one. See if that's. But literally the energy I've been in. All right. So now the next card we pull, which will go to my right, so your left. This is your past. So anything that sort of influences your past. Oh. We have the pentagram, which we've gotten a lot the last few days. And that is protection, balance, and unity. And we'll see how that affects this card. We'll take them all together when they're all done. The next card are things in your sphere that you cannot control. Energies that you can't control, things that you can't control that are contributing to this situation. Okay, the gift. Communication, gift, and crystals. We have that. The next card, so this is in the southern position. The next card that we pull are things that we can control, things within our sphere that we can control. And that is the herbalist, herbs, medicine, and healing. See, Spirit's telling me I need to be better at being a planter. Not good at herbs. I'm good at using herbs. I'm learning that, and that comes very naturally, but the actual growing of them, that I have to learn. But I am humble enough to learn it. That is what Spirit is telling me to do. The final card is, now remember that in my tradition, these cards do not predict the future. So the next card is the future card, but it's really more like, here's a potential outcome. It isn't that it is the outcome, because we have free will. And so, nothing predicts the future. Anything can change. But this is like a potential outcome. And it goes in the northern spot. Marvin has calmed down. It's laying on my backpack, which smells like a backpack. Okay, the last one is the Green Fairy, Mischief, Freedom, Reckless. I've also gotten that card a few times recently. So I'm going to take a minute to think about these and meditate on them, and then I'll be back with what I think it all means. So hold tight, ladies and gents and fairy world creatures. So when I look at this particular set of cards and I think about the energy and space that I'm in right now, the divination card is interesting because, for those of you who have followed the channel, you know this, but if you're new, I grew up in a very religious household, and I was going to be a nun, and all of this was considered so taboo. You couldn't even speak of it. And I am still Christian, and I still pray, and I believe in Jesus, and I believe in his work in this world. Less enamored by churches, and not because I think churches are inherently bad or wrong or evil or anything like that. I just am a little skeptical of the hands of men, going in there and saying, well, these are my special rules and these are my special rules, and then attributing them to the work of Jesus, who I thought was a healer and a divine example of light and love, right? So I've believed in sort of a little bit of these things over time, but it wasn't until I was literally benched and had a fractured heel that and I couldn't walk and I couldn't sort of escape myself that I kind of really came to terms with what it is I believe. I'm very drawn, for example, to druidic principles, but even modern druidry I think is a bit of nonsense, right? I'm not really drawn, I'm not a witch, or I'm not a Wiccan. I'm not drawn to magic or anything like that, but I have an appreciation and a respect, for traditions that I don't understand. And I feel like we can all break bread at the same table. It doesn't make me a witch to sit with them. And to me, if something spreads light and love, it's good. I don't care what you call it. So I think like this energy, the energy that I'm in, this channel, these are all things that are very new to me in sort of my new reality and experience. And I think I come into it protected, because I often feel that one of the roles that I play, or one of the roles that I'm being asked to play by Spirit, and maybe it's the thing that I chose for this lifetime, is to be a bridge between Christianity and sort of the other world things, right? There are already people who are bridges to things like Judaism and to Muslims and to things like that. There's, there are people that are called to do that and do that. Um, but we have neglected to build good, solid, positive bridges between Christianity and paganism, and Christianity and other earth-based faith structures. So I feel like I've been protected, because one of the problems with people who are raised in the very religious tradition is that you're banned from even talking about stuff like this. You're banned from talking about tarot. You're banned from talking about pendulums. You're banned from even being in a room with a Ouija board, right? And I still don't use a Ouija board for whatever that's worth, right? I still don't. I don't know. I don't. I believe spirit is good, and I believe that the spirit world is good, but I know enough that I don't know enough that I don't want to fart around with stuff. I don't want to bring bad energy into this world. So if there's a chance I might do that, I don't want to do it. Um, so I feel like, Spirit is saying, well, you're protected, because you're on a mission. We gave you the gift of communication. I can speak in front of crowds. In fact, I'm probably more comfortable speaking in front of 50,000 people than I am speaking in front of 5. And these are gifts from Spirit, right? These aren't things you've earned. These gifts that we've given you, these aren't things that you picked. These are the things we gave you, that God gave you. So we are protecting you. We gave you this gifts, but you have work to do. And that's what this herbalist card is. I spent a whole day doing the crafting, using herbs that other people have harvested into oils. And it's just a reminder that I need to do the work too. Like, I need to understand the principles of these herbs and understand how they're used, and I need to learn the things I don't know. I feel like and that's within my control. So these gifts are given to me whether I use them or not. Can't control that, but I am in charge of learning how to use them and learning how to be responsible with them. And then if I do that, the mischief in this green fairy card is interesting, because if you read the book, in fact, I will get the book out because it doesn't necessarily align to what it says on the card. And let me just pull it up. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's long, but have you become a bit stuck or just a bit too serious? When was the last time you let your hair down? A giggle or had a child's day? The green fairy is coming you to pull at your hair, tickle your ears, trip you over, all in an effort to break you out of your confined rut and maybe have a laugh at yourself. So, I think the message is like, bring this stuff to people in joy. Like, don't come after religious people and tell them they're wrong, because you're not going to convince them they're wrong. Like, don't be so serious. Like, be happy, bring joy, bring humor, and enjoy. Like, I had an amazing day making the different stuff. And, if I knew how to plant stuff, I might, I think I just never was with any, like, my dad did all of our gardening, and it was his way of getting away from my mother. And like, I knew that. So I never kind of like I didn't want to bother him, because I knew he was like in his zone, and he needed that time. He was a steel worker, so he needed that time. So I just never kind of, sort of like with my mom, she couldn't have people in the kitchen with her while she was cooking, and she was an amazing cook. So I just kind of like didn't want to like harsh her space. So I never really learned to cook, because I just never was in a kitchen. But I think, I'm being told by Spirit to come into my own, and to begin to understand the things that I use and the things that I do. Like, I'm in the right place. I'm where I'm supposed to be, but I need to have fun with it. And I'm going to have fun with it. I think that's what this card is saying, is that, don't be too serious. Like, have some joy. I'm known for my tomfoolery and shenanigans. That is sort of those are some of my hallmark features. So, good reading, good thing to focus on this week, and just to remember that, the people I worked with yesterday, the kids that I talked to and the parents, never heard of Ogham. The people that have never heard of runes. You could, refresh YouTube 10 times and you'll find, 100 different tarot card readers. There's only one person who reads runestones every day. You're looking at her. Hopefully that'll change. Hopefully that'll change and more people will be inspired to do it. But there we have it. So that's the weekly message. And I will see you tomorrow morning for a runestone pull. Wishing you all the very best in light and love. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. I forgot to pull an Ogham stick. Let me go do that. I'm gonna grab them real quick. So these are the Ogham sticks. This was made by Corvus Pottery, which if you've watched my channel, you know I am a fan of. These are what the sticks look like. And I haven't figured out a good way to, toss them. Just one of the reasons I don't use them. Because, with runestones, you keep them in a bag, and I imagine that you should probably keep these in a bag. So I'm just going to, I don't know, hold them in my hand, and whichever one's in my hand last will be the one I read. Okay. So here we go. And we're going to figure out what that means. So this one is IDAD, and it represents death, ending, exit, drastic change, or a new event is quickly approaching. So, as I mentioned, I don't actually read Ogham for divination. To me, they're an alphabet, and other people I think who do this sort of work, say that there's no historical proof that they were used for divination. But that's what they mean, and the book is super helpful. I got them because I love the workmanship that goes into them, and I'm a huge fan of Corvus Pottery, who I'll link below. So, on that note, I will wish you all the very best in light and love.